Hey everybody, I'm Alex.
And I am Evan.
And I'm Matthew.
And we're wasting time. We have a guest star today. This is Matt, our video editor.
How's it going?
There's our video editor in finger quotes.
He's to blame for everything that's terrible and wonderful about the quality of World of Illusion. So if you like it or hate it, leave comments to that effect.
Mostly wonderful, though.
Debatable. Today we're playing Stanley Parable. So the way we're structuring this is we're going to do a Matt playthrough, we're going to do an Alex playthrough, and then we're going to let Evan tie up the loose ends.
Yeah.
So
just in case you didn't hear, it says right here, you are playing the Stanley Parable.
Oh, I'm glad they reminded me. I thought this was Pac-Man.
Yeah.
I was wondering, where the hell is Pac-Man?
It also says it again and again, and Matt is trying to like make an Inception mouse cursor in the Cartesian desktop.
I'm not certain the fourth one says it, but I honestly can't make it out to confirm or deny.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well,
Is the mouse actually in the monitor?
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's there. Yeah.
Oh, it is. That's funny.
So there's a lot of narrative to this game. I have played this remake. Matt's played the original Source Engine mod. Alex has
played nothing.
Yes.
So this should be fun.
Yeah, and a lot of narrative. We'll try not to talk during the narrative.
All right, let's begin.
Begin the game.
Well, that's not intuitive at all. Also, the end is never loading.
Yes, the end is never the end.
Never the end is loading.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Huh.
Now you should be in control.
Okay.
There you go.
So you are Stanley now.
Yes, you are Stanley.
Matt Stanley? Mattley?
See my desk.
I wish we were Let's Playing this with a guy named Stanley. It would have been so much more, like, poignant.
Yes.
Right.
So there's other desks. This is a fun game so far.
Oh, yeah.
Very action-oriented.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Damn it, they're not under the desk.
Yeah. So essentially,
wait. Try the coffee cup. It might be in there. All right. Hey, look, it's a really old phone.
Rotary phone.
Yeah, thank you. I was trying to remember the term.
Who farted?
What?
It says right there.
Wait.
The cup.
Oh, that's cool. I have not noticed that before.
Is that symbolic of something? Is that representative of?
That's why there's no one here, because
Aha! Yeah. Yes.
Somebody.
So as you walk out,
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
I think he's talking about you, Matt.
Wow.
He may be talking about you, Stanley. So yeah, the flow of the game is essentially the narrator will talk, and you walk
Do
around.
stuff.
It'll quickly become apparent why this is really, really cool in a second.
All right.
Ooh, look at that.
Oh, that's actually some nice detail. But maybe you should take the painting suggestion and leaf.
I get it. 'Cause it's a leaf.
Well, it's like a subconscious thing. Like you see it and you leave. You did it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Aha. Yes.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
But you haven't done it yet.
So
Are you going to listen?
now,
to
Matt, yes.
Defy your destiny, Matt.
No, this is essentially the crux of the game, Matt.
Right.
You've heard the narrator. What will you do, Stanley?
Okay, whoa.
you've
They
chosen.
closed it on me.
Yeah,
That's
because
not
you were
fair.
trying to pussyfoot around the choice.
That's what you got.
At least I get to see this leaf again.
Yeah. I'm not gonna make the pun again. It served its purpose.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Oh, this is
Feeling a wave
that
of
room that they
disbelief,
told me to go
Stanley
into.
decided
No,
to
this
go
is
up
the
to his
meeting room.
boss's
Wait,
office,
do not
hoping he might
alter
find
without
an answer there.
consulting whiteboard. There's a whiteboard manager?
Wow.
Ah. Wait, what is floor 4x? Okay, so for floor 4 something something.
Tomorrow.
Complete today's unfinished agenda. Alright. Targets, look! Just like the place that you're employed at.
I moved my desk.
Except kind of different.
I do like who moved my desk.
Wait, papers are too synergized? What?
Interesting.
Fire paper guy.
Wow. Ooh.
This is a fun place to work at. I like that. Oh, rate.
Oh, this is really cool. Take a look at this.
Rate at which charts.
Watch the slideshow.
Rate of increasing graphs percent.
Wow. I'm out of here.
Ah.
These charts and things.
Oh, but they're measuring inane
Ooh, broom
things.
closet. Ooh.
Hey, a broom closet.
Actually,
Stanley
there's a broom.
stepped into
There's a broom in the broom closet.
But there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
maybe.
No, he didn't. Apparently.
I want a weapon.
There was nothing here. No choice to make.
Is there a crowbar?
No path to follow. Just an empty
There's a
broom
wrench.
closet.
But
No reason to
crowbars
still
are
be
the
here.
the standard for these Half-Life derived games. Maybe can you jump?
It was baffling that Stanley
I
was still
don't think
just
so.
sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything.
Narrator's
If there was something
really
to interact
stuck
with,
on you.
He'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
FA.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
What is FA? Is that
Is
that a thing?
Fuck all.
Ah, okay.
Actually, I'm gonna go down. It's gravity.
But Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's
You're
office.
ruining the story, Stanley.
He forgot something.
Okay.
So then Stanley went downstairs and hid under the stairs like a hobo. Now you're
Ooh, a
not.
car.
But Stanley
Dang
just
it,
wouldn't
Matt.
do it.
You don't listen to me.
He
You don't
considered
listen to the
possibility
narrator.
of facing his
You're a
boss.
rebel without a cause.
Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked up? Why did doors close
You can keep
automatically
walking,
behind him wherever he went?
But the narrator
And for
didn't
that
say he
matter,
kept walking.
these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His
Copy that.
co-workers were actually gone.
'Cause they
He
like
wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I
125
suppose
for
I'll
a
wake up
canister.
soon. I'll have to
That's
go
absurd.
back to my
That's
boring
absurd.
real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well
See, that's
enjoy
the
this
that's the
while
thing
I'm
I
still
find most
lucid.
unbelievable about this
So,
scenario.
he imagined himself
the-
flying and began to gently float above
What?
the ground.
This is the same room I was just in.
Then
Oh,
he imagined himself
wait,
soaring
flying.
through space on a
I
magical
flew for a
star.
second.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
Oh, what?
Because you're dreaming.
So
You think you're
much
dreaming.
fun. And Stanley
wow.
marveled
There's
that he had still
stars.
not woken up.
It's like the
How was
Peter
he
Pan ride at
remaining so
Disneyland.
lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered
What?
Stanley's
What?
head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
That's a good question.
Now
Stanley.
the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all,
Clearly you're not
he knew
thirsty.
for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How doesn't the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream.
I was going to say, are the
So
doors
he
closing
closed
behind
his
you?
eyes,
They are.
gently,
Yeah.
They are, in fact.
and he invited himself to wake up.
What, dude?
He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back,
Huh.
the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
No.
Stanley began
Well.
screaming. Please! Stanley! I have a boss, I have an office, I am real! Please, just someone tell me I am real! I must be real, I must be!
Whoa,
Can anyone
what
hear
the-
my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Wow.
Why's it gotta be black?
This is the story of a woman named
Wow.
go with it. Go with it.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't.
Wow.
It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Wait, what? What about the ambulance? What about
You
Stanley?
see what happens when you don't go upstairs to your boss's office?
That's
So-
a good, that is a good point, Matt.
So essentially,
Stanley.
yeah, essentially, you've just experienced one ending to the game.
Ah.
Okay.
It now puts you back at the beginning of the story,
And you can try again.
and you can do things differently. There's a myriad of choices that you can take or not take.
Nice.
Matt just happened to hit one of the earlier endings.
Okay.
But every time the narrator offers you a choice, you can either choose to do what he says or
All of his
deviate.
co-workers were gone.
And
What could it mean?
at every
Stanley
different
decided
point,
to go to the
deviating
meeting
will
room.
lead to
Perhaps
something
he had
different.
simply missed a memo.
So now we're on Earth 2, where the
No matter
Flash
how
has a
hard
cool
Stanley
hat.
looked, he couldn't find a trace of his
So, yeah,
co-workers.
There might be like one person who gets that joke.
This is back at the beginning, and no orders.
Interesting.
All right. So, wait, was the Who Farted mug still there?
Probably.
Did you check? Go
Maybe.
back and check.
See
What
if you
it's-
can go back.
What does it say? Be my...
Crouch.
King Tiger. Be
My
my
Valentine.
Valentine. Well, it technically says be my Allentine, which
Yeah.
What's it on?
F
F-U? I think it says fun, though. We'll assume it says fun. Not just
What?
F-U.
what? Why wouldn't it say fun? What other word could they possibly be spelled? What is that one?
I hate Mondays. Garfield's
Uh-huh. But Garfield can't reach up there. Silly cat.
When
So,
Stanley
alright,
came
here you
to
are,
set
Matt.
it
So
to open
Stan-
work, this was
Oh, you just okay.
No hesitation. This.
perfectly
So this will change the narrative.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Exactly.
That's what you were thinking, right?
Oh, yeah.
Of course, because I totally knew it was this way.
I'm glad to see that Stanley has a game plan. Because I thought he was just picking
The
stuff.
employee lounge is actually really
Truly a room worth admiring. It had really
I've
been
seen
worth
it.
the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room.
I can't read that.
Stanley
Yeah, I've got
simply
shit
stood here,
eyesight, but I
drinking
can't
it all
make that
in.
out.
Cups.
Oh, does that one say? What does that one say? Number one, I'm assuming dead. Yeah.
Dad.
Yes,
Wait, no,
really,
I
really
something.
worth it being here in the room. Room so
What is that?
utterly
FU cup?
captivating.
I mean,
But
fun.
even though all your
Oh, yeah,
co-workers
there you
have
go.
Wait, there's
mysteriously
an
vanished,
E?
here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings.
Fuel. Aha.
House
Ah.
coffee.
Because
We're
coffee.
all wrong.
What's it?
At this
Oh,
point,
yeah,
Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality.
Get out of the room, you creep.
Possible that this
Jeez.
is why,
Oh, you
but at
don't.
last he
You
had
could
enough
stay
of the
there.
amazing room and took the first
I
open
believe
door on
if
his
you
left
stay there,
to
the
get back
narrator
to
will keep
business.
jabbering on about how you are a creeper and won't leave.
Oh, what's that?
I don't know.
I think that's like
Or
a.
I can go this way.
Which way will you go,
You
man?
didn't go into the cool looking room, the maintenance room.
Ooh.
Stanley was so
A
bad at following
protractor.
directions.
Oh,
it's
I love
incredible it wasn't
protractors.
5 years
Calculator.
ago.
Is that a slide rule?
A warehouse.
Okay. And wait, do not lie. If you're lying now, stop.
Caution.
Okay.
So you've deviated because
Quite
the
a
narrator
bit.
said you were bad at following directions. If you
Well, maybe he got lost. I mean, from a narrative standpoint, if Stanley has never left his office, he wouldn't know where to go. Do not jump from the cargo lift while it's in motion. Oh, God.
5,000.
What did I say? The penalty for misuse of cargo lift?
$5,000.
You're joking. They extract that from your dead body. Try it.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is
going?
that the
I thought you were
story
gonna
has
go
been
down. I
about
didn't realize
nothing
it was
but
gonna take
you
you up.
all this time.
So this is rather
someone you've
interesting
been
how the
neglecting,
narrator
Stanley.
interacts with you here.
Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Yeah, Matt.
Sure.
Stanley. Probably
This
Stanley's
is it,
wife.
Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
That took a weird turn.
I don't like the look of this door.
What? Why? Because it's a black room? Why you gotta judge, Matt? It's like a solid block of black.
Just past the
Man.
wall of darkness.
No,
I can't bring this with me? No.
No.
it's like the fog gates from Dark Souls. Like, There's just gonna be the boss fight behind. Come on, Capper Demon.
Hey, Sir
yeah, phone.
Stanley, you need to be the one to do this.
Did you do that?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, you clicked on that phone.
Okay.
I'm used to these Source games having the, push
Stanley, is that
X.
you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving...
Oh,
Wow.
To you. I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
you could probably flee if you wanted to.
You you essentially always have a choice. So what will you do?
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
What? Press 2?
Press 2.
Alright.
Stanley
If you
is
wanna
quite
do
a
what they
boring
tell you.
fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him. And every button that he pushes is a reminder of the
Do you see what they're
inconsequential
implying
nature
here,
of
Matt?
his existence.
Yes. I'm good.
Or should I say Stanley?
I think you're gonna have to press I there.
I don't think so.
That's
I do whatever
clever.
I want.
That's pretty clever.
Yeah, clearly. Go, You can randomly spin in circles in this fake room.
And you can talk to your wife.
There she is. She does love you.
She's got that perfect porcelain skin.
Quite a looker there, Matt. Yeah, you're gonna have to push I there, buddy.
I don't want to.
No, he can just leave the room.
Look what I'm about to do for you, Matt.
Look at him there, pushing buttons,
changed.
doing exactly what he's told to do.
You ruined the experience.
Now
of
he's
it.
pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's
Go on,
going
Matt. Eat
home.
lunch.
Now he's coming
Eat
back to
your
work.
lunch.
One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Can you go into the bedroom?
No, it's
Oh,
blocked.
it's like a cushion just blocking it.
But in his mind,
And you can't watch the TV.
in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And
is
each
kind of
day that he
depressing.
returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Wow. Press K to watch TV.
Hey, you get to watch TV. All right.
And so he began to fantasize.
Wait, what?
No, turn around.
First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
I see what you did there, Stan. What?
The boys.
Spend time with the boys.
Okay.
So
Yeah, no,
he went
X.
further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last,
I wonder which one he went
choice.
through.
It barely even mattered what lay
Choice
behind
at
each door.
last.
The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Wow.
You're hungry,
Wait,
Matt.
but you have a wife. Why would you prepare the dinner? I think if you click it enough, something will happen.
Yeah, if you click
Go
that
on.
door
Go for it.
possibly enough times, it will open. And you might get an achievement.
Yeah.
As he wandered through
Whoa.
this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he
Okay.
called it the Stanley Parable.
Ah.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. There is no answer. What could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I get him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? Wow. How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Oh my gosh. This,
you can't tell, but Matt's going nuts trying not to do it, telling him to do it.
Matt is desperately fighting against the increasingly restrictive bonds of
I
space.
can't. Yes. The way I want him to.
But there doesn't appear to be a way out of it.
I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see.
Sharpen a pencil.
Maybe this time. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button.
What was that? What happened?
I tried again. And Stanley
pushed a button.
Wow.
And
yeah, you've just been pushing the buttons it's been telling you up until now.
Mm-hmm.
This is the natural outcome to what you were doing.
Wow. All right, so that was Matt Plays Stanley Parable.
Yeah, so, yeah, it's a good place to stop, and Matt's got probably a bigger chunk of the game than he wanted.
All right.
And won't be able to shake loose even when he wakes up screaming.
All right,
so yeah, we'll see you next time.
See you guys next time with Alex Plays Stanley Parable, the superior version.
Wow.
All right, later on, guys.
Later on.